Yeah, so thank you guys all for coming out and supporting this Comedy College Class 101. It's been a really cool experience. When I first decided to do it, I really honestly thought, what could I possibly talk about? Me, a single woman who works in a library, bartends on the side, lives above a prostitute. What could I possibly talk about? There are things that happen to you in life. I'm originally from Michigan. Anyone else from Michigan? No, there's no one here from Michigan. Great, I'm the only crazy fucker here. Awesome. But it's funny, whenever I tell people that I'm from Michigan, they automatically assume that I'm from Detroit, which nothing could be farther from the truth. Not that there's anything wrong with Detroit. Everything is wrong with Detroit. I mean, honestly, if you have to make a commercial and show it during the biggest sporting event that your nation has, just to remind people that you are actually a city in the United States, and a couple of problems going on. I mean, they have no jobs there. The housing economy has tanked. What do people do there? Does everyone live in a trailer on 8 Mile with Eminem? Because that would be absolutely fucking ridiculous. Speaking of Eminem, he's from Michigan, as some other great people are. We've got, what's his name, Kid Rock. We've got Lee Iacocca, who actually started, or was the president of one of the motor companies there. Everyone great has come from the Detroit area. But that Eminem, I just can't figure him out, because his music to me just seems so angry. I mean, all of his songs start out with this really nice, melodic beat going on, and then it just like blossoms into this huge violent crescendo that makes me feel like I'm out on a date with Chris Brown and Ben Roethlisberger, fucked inside and out. Yes, like I said, I'm from southwestern Michigan. I'm from a very tiny town, tiny fucked up town that's just south of a larger fucked up town. It's a very, very small place. When we first moved there and I grew up, there was actually one stoplight in this town. And actually right at that same intersection where that stoplight was, there was the one ethnic restaurant in the city, which was a Chinese restaurant. Actually, I take that back. There were 2 ethnic restaurants in that intersection. One was a Chinese restaurant, and the other one? Anyone?
Taco Bell.
No, a Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's how many black people were in this town. So if you happen to be going past that intersection on a Saturday night and you saw the 4 Chinese people and the 6 black people there, you might have thought there was some sort of like civil rights march or something going on, because that was it. That was the color of the town. So the town was very small. It was actually 99% white, and we were the only black family there, but it was very strange because we lived actually right next door to the only Catholic school in the city. And the Catholic school is actually run by a sect of nuns from outside of Baltimore, Maryland. And what was even crazier is that this sect of nuns were black. Yeah, so the only black people in this town were my family and the nuns. Sunday dinners sucked. And I often wonder how they wound up there, because I know how my family wound up there. My dad got lost driving from Chicago to Detroit to visit his brother. And I often imagine that these nuns were out on some sort of like evangelical adventure, like trying to save cities and towns and people, and they saw a cluster of Chinese and black people gathered on a corner, and thought this would probably be the best place to start, because these people are going to need a lot of help. So I lived right next door to the Catholic school, and my dad actually liked to help, or actually liked to volunteer my brother and I to help the nuns with their chores, because we lived right next door to the school and the convent. So on Saturday mornings, my brother and I would like try to, crawl army style out of the house so we wouldn't get caught, but my dad would catch us, and we'd have to go rake leaves for the nuns, or mow the lawn or what have you. And I remember one time they actually asked me and my brother to clean this statue of Mary that they had back out in the back of their garden. And they specifically told us to clean it by hand because it was small and delicate. But my brother and I, being the professional statue cleaners at the age of 7 and 8 that we were, decided that we could probably get it done a lot faster and watch cartoons if we used the power hose that my dad used to actually clean the side of the house. You guys know where I'm going with this. So we hooked it up, we did it, we actually knocked the head off the statue, that was awesome. Got the spankings of our lives, but the nuns always tried to instill Jesus in us when they were either correcting us or when we did tasks for them, like, you know, if we did help dust around the house, they would say, Jesus would be so proud of you for doing that. Or if we had to help clean out the basement or do the laundry, Jesus would be so proud of you for doing that. When we had to wash dishes, you know, Jesus would be so proud of you when you did that. And as I got older, I realized Jesus does not give a fuck about my dishes. He really doesn't. You know what? Jesus would actually want me to be happy. So every time I contemplate getting that drink for last call, I'm thinking Jesus would want me to do this. Yeah, so I actually survived the punishments that the nuns doled out and wound up going to college, getting a nice degree, moving to the city, doing what you're supposed to, moving to a nice neighborhood. But I kind of realized that every nice neighborhood has its dirty little secret. And my dirty little secret? I live above a prostitute. Not a common prostitute. No. She is actually a mugshot in the newspaper because I was busted in a sting at a motel out in the suburbs prostitute. I know it's true. But you know, she seems really nice. She keeps to herself. From what I know, she doesn't have a pimp. But I know this how? Because I watch her all the time. I watch her like the LAPD watches Lindsay Lohan. I've got my eyes on everything that bitch does. But why? Besides, you know, picking up awesome tips on how to close the deal, it's really entertaining. Whenever my cable goes out, I just head out to the front steps, you know, and watch the array of people that come by. She doesn't discriminate, you know, she has all sorts of people stopping by. She has lawyers and BMWs and construction workers and pickup trucks, and I swear to God, I saw a guy come up once, casually rode up on his bicycle, locked it to the fence, and I'm thinking, who the fuck goes to see a hooker on a bicycle? And I'm probably thinking it's either a disbarred lawyer or an unemployed construction worker who spent all of his money on a hooker, and that's why they're on a bicycle. But like I said, she's actually very, very nice. Whenever people come over to visit her, she when she opens her door, it's always like, you know, the smell of flowers and perfume and nice soft music playing. And I mean, initially, when I saw that, I just thought it was probably to cover up the smell of lube and rubber and sobbing men during the daytime, because that's how when they stop by. But that was her daytime clientele. At night, it switched it up a little bit. She would have guys over. I think she might have been dabbling in drugs a little bit, because she would turn on the techno music, and it would go on for anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days. You would hear, you know, some mumbling down there, you know, a little bit of talk, a little bit of moaning, or at least that's what it sounded like to me, with my ear pressed on the floor with a glass of Cabernet in my hand and a smoke in the other. You can't hear much when you're laying down there, but that's what it sounded like to me. I need to learn. Everyone needs to learn.
It's our time.
Sorry, I'm looking at my notes around cheating. I'm new. Come on, you need to